going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool walnut pencil holder on the lathe. So let's get started. Alright guys, so to start out our little pencil holder project, I've got this little 4x4 of walnut here. I got this from a friend of ours and it's very dry, so it's going to work perfect for this project. All we have to do is put a faceplate on this and we can put it on the lathe. Alright, so I got our little piece of walnut here mounted up on the lathe. I got it on the faceplate. Got my tool rest set, my tailstock up, and now I'm just going to start using the rough and gouge to start getting this thing round. And as you can see, after just a few seconds of turning, we've already got this one section round. Now I'll just continue on to this section. Alright, so off camera I did a little bit more turning. I got this thing completely cylindrical. Now what we're going to do is use the parting tool, which looks just like this. We're going to define the bottom of our pencil holder, and then we can start to really smooth this out and shape it. So this little groove that we just made is going to define the bottom, and now we know where we can start shaping it and smoothing it out. Alright, so once I got it to be a perfect cylinder with my skew, I took my big skew and I'm starting to round off the bottom here just to give it a little bit of a decorative look. And I think that's looking really good, so we're almost there. We're almost ready to hollow this thing out, but I think the outside's turning out really nice. Alright, so now that we're ready to hollow out the inside of our pencil holder, I have repositioned my tool rest to the front of the pencil holder, and I have positioned it about 1/4 of an inch below the center of the pencil holder. I'm going to start out with this tool to clean up the front and get it perfectly round, I guess you could say. And then I'm going to use my parting tool and part straight down parallel with the outside wall. So as you can see, we're starting to make some pretty good progress hollowing out our pencil holder. I'm going to stick with the parting tool just because it's easy to sharpen and it's giving me a really good straight, consistent wall thickness here. But for a bowl, I would switch to the bowl gouge at this point. So as you heard, we were getting quite a lot of vibration as we were starting to come down and hollow this thing out. That's because we're turning about 6 inches away from where the actual drive of the lathe is. Usually when you're turning a bowl, you're turning it right here. And unfortunately, like I said, I cut my blank way too long and we ended up turning out here. That's no big deal. It should still turn out really good. And again, we are turning solid end grain, so that's also contributing to our vibration problem, but we're getting down there, and I just got to keep resharpening my tool, keep it nice and touched up. Alright, so I got our little pencil holder completely hollowed out, and I got the wall thickness very consistent all the way down. Now what I'm going to do is use my bowl gouge and add a little bit of a flare right here up toward the lip, and kind of round over these edges a little bit, give it a little bit of a decorative look, and then we can get to sanding. Alright, so I just rounded over this little corner here and kind of did a little flare on the inside. Now let's get some 80 grit sandpaper and start sanding this thing up. And we gotta get the inside too. I used a little bit of CA glue and accelerator to attach this piece of sandpaper to the end of this dowel so I can sand the inside of the pencil holder. So now I'm done with the 80 grit. I got the inside and the outside sanded with it. We're going to move up to 120. Alright guys, so I sanded up through the grits and we got all the way to 1,000 grit. And as you can see, that walnut's got a really, really nice shine to it. So I think at this point we're ready for some finish. Alright guys, so for the finish, we are going to be using Doctor's Woodshop Pens Plus. Absolutely love this finish. This video is not sponsored by Doctor's Woodshop. This stuff is incredible. I think it's like a walnut oil, shellac, alcohol blend, and it's a friction polish that just turns out beautiful. Yeah, you can really see that gloss from that friction polish and how good it makes that walnut look. Guys, I had a lot of fun making this walnut pencil holder on the lathe today, and I hope you had a lot of fun watching this week's video. I think that finish turned out incredibly good on that walnut. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, make sure you get subscribed because there's a lot of really cool content coming up and you're not going to want to miss it. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Seth Custom Creations. I'll stick the name on the screen there for you. I post a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and stuff that doesn't get put up on my YouTube channel over on my Instagram. And guys, if you haven't already, please be sure to go and check out my website. The link will be in the description down below, but it's www.sethcustomcreations.com. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and more information about me, and there's also products on there for sale. I'll see you guys next week.